All right, so we're on the road. We're on the way to go see this Honda Element. It's about an hour drive, and I'll be back to show you what it's like. Let's go. I got to the dealership here. I'm in Sacramento, and I'm in a Honda Element. I'm gonna do a quick test drive, take it on streets and then also on the highway, just see how it goes. So far, I really love how it looks. It's a lot of space, but the actual vehicle itself still feels very maneuverable. We got the suicide doors open. It's pretty cool. You can see the back here. This is the 2006 Honda Element. So 2 seats up front. This one is a manual transmission. It's got the stick right here. And then the back has the rubber floor, which is pretty nice. And 2 seats in the back, but they actually fold up, which is pretty cool. So this doesn't really look like a hippie like VW Vanagon. Maybe it could be transformed into that, but I think, you know, if I go with something like this, I'm probably not going to be going for as much of the hippie vibe. I'm going to be going more for just utility and something that works, which, you know, I'm open to that for sure. So the back door opens in 2 parts, which is pretty awesome. It gives you this kind of like a pickup truck situation here. Really like how all the doors work. So if I were to get this Element and add a pop top, this 2006 model doesn't have a sunroof. So I would actually work with the folks at Ursa Minor Vehicles they would cut a hole and they would install the OEM sunroof port. And this is where the sleeping pop top area would eventually be after they install it. So these seats here can actually just clip up like this. And then they fold down. Just pop this back up. There you go, you got a seat. It's pretty cool. I just took this Honda Element for a drive on the streets and then on the highway. I gotta say, I really like this vehicle. It drives a lot like a car. It has the space of an SUV inside, but it's not this gigantic Hummer or something, you know? I saw one of those on the highway earlier and I'm just like, this is just too much. This is a really nice balance of all the things. I like how rugged it is. Just looking at the exterior, it just looks durable, and there are a few scratches and scuffs here and there, but with the black color and I think adding a pop top, all that stuff kind of adds to the vibe, right? Like, this is a camping recreational vehicle, so I'm not trying to keep it in absolutely perfect visual shape, right? Overall impression of this Honda Element, really like this vehicle. It looks a lot cooler and more rugged than I would have thought, and I think with a few personal touches and adding that pop top, this thing would be an incredible vehicle. I'm pretty into this car. I think I am going to try to check out a Jeep Wrangler. I've heard, you know, I like the aesthetic of Jeeps also, but I've also heard that Jeeps are kind of a special breed of car, and you have to really enjoy driving Jeeps to drive a Jeep. I'm in a Jeep Wrangler now. It's a very modern edition. I think it's like 2019, and so far a lot more comfortable than I expected inside. I will say, first impression, the Honda Element already has way more space inside. The Jeep looks big on the outside, but the Honda, the inside is way larger. So I'm gonna do a quick tour of everything inside. I do like the aesthetics, but my initial concern is the space so far. So this is the 2-door edition, and you can see the dash here. This is a more modern vehicle than the Element. The Element was a 2006. This is like a 2018, I believe. But you know, this one has things like a computer screen for navigation. Element didn't have that. This is a automatic transmission. And then the back area here, you know, standard Jeep kind of back area. I'm gonna pop open the trunk and see what it looks like back there. So this is a big difference between the Honda Element and the Jeep. On the Jeep, the back door swings open like a side door, and then the top one opens up like this, like the Element. This is already a win for the Element in my opinion. Although it's cool aesthetically to have the back door open on the side, I really miss having that seating space here. And inside, you can see the roof. This is where the hole would be cut if I were to install a pop top. And this is just a 2-door Jeep, but for the pop top, I'd probably end up getting a 4-door Jeep because you're gonna need a little bit more space on the roof. You can see this roof is like a little bit too short. You could sleep up there, but a little bit larger would be nice. I just took this Jeep for a quick drive, and I liked it more than I thought. Like, you know, people say a Jeep drives like a Jeep, and you have to be like a Jeep person, and I felt like it was actually pretty similar to a normal car. The things I did notice was, compared to the Honda Element, the Jeep, you're sitting a lot higher up, and there's less space between you and the ceiling. It's a more compact area, so you feel a little higher off the road. Another thing I noticed is this is just a newer model, so there's a lot of technology in here. There's a GPS system, the dash is a little more complex. And I appreciate that about the Honda Element, is that it was a much more simpler dash area, and it just seems like something that's going to last longer and not break. Because it's so simple, there's really just not much there that can go wrong. So overall Jeep impression is, it's a pretty cool vehicle. I think it works quite well actually as a street vehicle. It's obviously made more for off-road, but the Honda Element overall, I think I did like the way it drives a little bit better. But really pleasantly surprised by this Jeep Wrangler. All right, so we've come to the end of the journey here. I test drove a 2006 Honda Element today, and I also test drove a 2018 Jeep Wrangler. So what did I think between the two? Honda Element, definitely more spacious, more vertical height, and just more width. The interior is just a lot more spacious than the Jeep, because the Jeep has a lot of other parts to facilitate the roof coming off. I really like the look of the Jeep. It has kind of a military look, but I also like the look of the Honda. And when you open those suicide doors on the Honda, it actually looks very rugged, and it looks like an off-road kind of vehicle. And then of course the Jeep, it has that kind of military styling, very boxy. I think it actually looks a little bit too cool. It looks almost kind of violent or something, or I could just like imagine like a gun being mounted on top, and that kind of not really the vibe I'm going for. I've heard a lot of things about Jeeps. I've heard that you have to like keep your hands like on the wheel at all times to keep it from kind of going from side to side, because it is made for like off-roading. And I didn't really experience that too much. I thought it was actually quite comfortable to drive in the city. You could feel it kind of sway a little bit if you went over a bump. You can tell that it would be quite good off-road. And then Honda Element, it drives just like a car, right? So it's very familiar. It's a little lower to the ground than the Jeep. Very smooth ride. I like driving both of them, but to be honest, I enjoy the Honda Element more just because it feels more familiar, and it also had the manual transmission, which I thought was quite a lot of fun. All right, and final, ability to turn the vehicle into a camper. I would say the Element wins hands down. It comes down, you can install this pop top on either vehicle by cutting the hole in the roof, but it's going to be important that you have enough space in the vehicle. And neither of these are like vans, right? They're both smaller SUVs, so they're not spacious to begin with. So you need as much space as you can get. And the Honda Element interior is simply, it's just bigger. It's wider, it's taller, the windows are larger. So I think it makes a better vehicle for converting to a pop top. That's my review. I think the Honda Element is the clear winner here, and luckily it happens to cost less money, so that's also a win. I'm gonna keep thinking about it. I'm gonna price out what a pop top installation would be. I've heard it's a little pricey, and take some time to think about it, and I'll get back to you with what I decide, if I decide to go this kind of DIY pop top route or maybe build something else. So, see you next time. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Check out this sign. This is like a sign that they wrote just for future Corey. It says, tour buses and vans. I wonder if that includes Honda Elements. Seating capacity of 8 or more passengers. Prohibited. Can't sleep here, folks.